Hello and welcome to your second training video in the e-writing course. Hope you're enjoying it so far, and I hope that you're taking action each step as well, so that you're staying on track, you're staying motivated. I mean, this in itself is one of the most important strategies, is to actually keep motivated, keep focused, and keep doing each training video as they come, keep taking action from these training videos as they come. So because what that does is it gives you momentum, it gives you rhythm, it keeps you moving forward to achieving what you want to achieve, which is obviously to write your book. So today what we're going to do, because last time we spoke about the overview. We did the overview of your book plan. So this is where we, had a good look at what your book is about, where it's headed, what you're going to write about. We put some of that kind of information down. Now, unbeknownst to you, what we were doing was stage one of my writing, my 5 stages of writing layers is what I call them, the 5 stages of writing layers. You didn't know that, did you? Clever, aren't you? So what you've actually done is you've done your book overview, you've started creating your bullet points. Well, hopefully you will have kept going with that after our training video, and really extrapolated, really put a whole lot of bullet points in there as well. So you've got kind of really the scope of what each chapter almost is going to be. As I mentioned to you, things like novels, some of those stories, you're not going to know where that's going to go. But for how-to books, cookbooks, children's books, most books, you will actually. So the second thing that we need to do now is our stage 2. Now in stage 2, it's all about taking those bullet points and extrapolating them out into sentences, then paragraphs, then of course chapters, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to go back to your manuscript, go back to your master manuscript. You're going to have a look at just one section. One section's all you need to do for today. And that is to look at those bullet points, and I want you to start creating a sentence around it. So you're going to be more descriptive. You're going to use thoughts. You're going to inject color. You're going to be putting descriptors such as color, environment, thoughts. What's actually happening. All those fundamentals are going to be included in the extrapolating out of your bullet points, okay? And then you go into stage 3 of the writing layers. And that is when after you do all that, so don't confuse the two. I want you to really break this down, okay? So just in that stage 2 is just still dumping information from here onto your template, okay? And if you want a little bit more information about the writing in layers, head on to your book, How to Write Your Book, and it's on page 105, the 5 stages of writing in layers. And it's a process that I actually developed over the years and years of mentoring, just to ensure that authors or writers do take each and every step, because it makes the writing so much easier. You will move from being a writer to an author. That's how this process works and why this process works, okay? It gives you that experience to really, shift from one space to another. So after you've got your descriptors down pat, you're then going to move into your next section of writing in layers, which is section number 3, and that is where you pour in your emotion, you pour in feeling, you be very creative, you be very expressive in your language. So if you can just think about this for a minute. Stage 2 is me talking like this, but I'm getting all what I want to say out. Stage 3 is like this. I'm talking like this and I'm being descriptive and I'm adding emotion and feeling and soul and heart, you know, all that sort of stuff. Stage 4 is when you come back and you look at all your work, you reread it, and you look at all your work to make sure that your energy and the flow is consistent across your book. Because as we begin to write, we're a bit nervous, we don't know what we're doing, that kind of thing. And as we progress, our confidence boosts and we become more able, more relaxed in the writing, and we become better in the writing. So you need to really, so you're writing at the end of your book basically is sometimes vastly different to the start of your book. So you need to go back, read the end of your book, and then start at the very beginning and go back and make sure your energy is the same as it was in the first, you know, same as the start as it is at the end. Okay, it needs to be consistent throughout. So that's stage 4. Stage 5 is where you review. This is where you go through, you format it, make sure your paragraphs are evenly spaced. You make sure that you crossed your crossed your T's and dotted your I's, put your full stops in, put your capitals at the start of each sentence, those kind of things. You want to make sure that everything's in the right area. And then in this stage 5, you also want to give your manuscript to somebody that you trust, that will not tell you what you want to hear, but tell you what you need to hear, okay? So we do that. If you don't have anybody, please reach out, because we do give, you know, proper consult to writers about their work, and we are truthful and honest about it. So there you are. That's your task for the from this training session. So enjoy that. Make sure you're dedicated, keep focused. Also, schedule in the time to do this. This is probably going to take you a few hours to really get the, you know, it might take you an hour if you just sit down and go, yep, extrapolate that bullet point out. That's all good. And I just want you to do one section. As I said, you know, basically we're working on one chapter, okay? So just that chapter. So just extrapolate it out. Put the monotone content in, download onto paper, then be descriptive. Then you add your descriptions and your emotions and your feelings and everything else. Then go back and make sure that it's consistent, the energy is consistent and everything else. Then I want you to make sure that you formatted it right and things like that. So we're basically, we wouldn't normally do this for one section, but because this is an e-writing course, it's a little bit different. In my mentoring, it's vastly different, but I'm just trying to help you progress as fast as I can without, the mentoring one-on-one review every week and all that sort of stuff. So that's what you're going to do. Just concentrate on one chapter. Normally we would just do one section per the whole book. But this is what we're doing for the e-writing course, and it's going to work beautifully. So have a fantastic time. I'll drop in another few days to see how you're going, and I will talk to you then. If you have paid in full for this course, you will get the review, and at the end of this training session, I will actually I am asking you to send that through to me so I can have a little look and to see where you are, so I can give you a review of your work to date. Don't freak out. That's what we're here for, and we all have to start somewhere, so don't freak out. But at the end of you finishing that chapter, so stage 1 writing layers, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4 writing layers, and even stage 5, just a section, I do want you to send that through to me, okay? Now that is only available, that offer, until the end of December 2019, okay? Just so you know, in case you're viewing this in the future. All right, I'll talk to you soon.